It's Layla Lynn back again. Let's begin. Now, I want to speak on the situation with Gabrielle Union and America's Got Talent and Mr. Terry Crews. I feel like I have something to add to this conversation that's been going on social media, so I definitely want to talk about the situation. This video is not going to be long because I don't have a lot of time to spend on people who are willfully ignorant. Like, in my opinion, Terry Crews is being willfully ignorant, so I don't have a lot of time to spend on him, but I do want to talk about the situation, and I do want to use this video as a forum. The comment section is a forum to express your thoughts on the situation. Now, in case you're watching this video and you're not up to speed, let me just give you some background. Basically, Gabrielle Union, although she hasn't spoken publicly about it, she allegedly accused America's Got Talent of discrimination, racial discrimination, and sexual discrimination, sexism and racism. And Terry Crews, who is the host of America's Got Talent, did an interview on NBC. America's Got Talent is an NBC show, and he did an interview on the Today Show, which is an NBC show. So he did an interview on NBC about another NBC show, and he was asked about discrimination on that NBC show, and of course he denied seeing any discrimination on that show. I just want to make it clear that this was an NBC setup from the start, and he walked right into it and is willfully ignorant in what he is doing. In that interview, Terry Crews says, quote, "I can't speak for sexism, but I can speak on any racism comments. That was never my experience. In fact, it was the most diverse place I've been in my 20 years of entertainment. The top 10 acts were Asian, older, younger, black, white, everything in the gamut. When you look at what the allegations are about, it was given by an unnamed source. I believe you should listen to women. You should always believe women. Gabrielle Union has not made any statement to this day about any of these allegations publicly. My wife said, if she hasn't made a statement, why would you?" Now, I definitely believe his wife said that. If she hasn't made a statement, why would you? In other words, don't say nothing. If she hasn't said anything, why would you say anything? Be quiet. I don't believe his wife told him to go on NBC and attack Gabrielle Union's claims of racial discrimination and sexual discrimination. And to be clear, Gabrielle Union's claims have to do with the behind the scenes, not the people that you see on stage. You know, people of color are always allowed to entertain. We can always entertain, but she was referring to behind the scenes, like the people that work there who are experiencing discrimination based on their race or based on their gender. That's what she's specifically referring to, employees, not the talent. The talent is always allowed to be talent, to be entertaining, and to make money for the network. That's always allowed. And so Gabrielle Union and Terry Crews are talking about two different things. One is talking about behind the scenes, the employees, and one is talking about what you see on stage, the performance of inclusion. Like, NBC looks inclusive based on the talent that it hires, but behind the scenes, the employees that actually work there experience discrimination, and it's not an inclusive or a diverse environment. So apples, oranges. And when Terry Crews inevitably received backlash for his statements on the Today Show, he went on Twitter and cleared his mind. He tweeted first, a ancient Flint, Michigan proverb: "I'm a hog, you're a chicken. Just because you gave me eggs don't mean I owe you bacon." So basically what he's saying to black women, this is specific to black women. Let's just be honest. Let's just be direct. This is specific to black women because black women are the people who supported him when he came out with his own allegations of sexual assault at the literal hands of a white male. Black women supported him, and he acknowledged that it was black women, not just black people, but black women who supported him. He acknowledged that on Watch What Happens Live. He acknowledged that in the media. So he's saying he's a hog, we're chickens. Once again, we're chickens. And he says, just because you gave me eggs, just because you gave me what you produced, like you gave me your support, just because you gave me what you produced doesn't mean I owe you bacon. Now, a hog would have to die to give you bacon. So basically saying that doesn't mean I owe you my life or my livelihood, i.e. my job. Just because you supported me doesn't mean I owe you my job. Then he goes on to tweet, "There's only one woman on earth I have to please. Her name is Rebecca. Not my mother, my sister, my daughters, or co-workers. I will let their husbands/boyfriends/partners take care of them. Rebecca gives me wings." He's so serious. He's so serious. It appears that Terry Crews believes that black women are literally asking for his job, for him to quit his job to support Gabrielle Union. That's what we can tell that he believes from his tweets, that black women want his livelihood. We want him to sacrifice his job to support Gabrielle Union. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Nobody is asking him to quit. Nobody's asking him to quit his job. Nobody is asking him to walk out. No one is asking him to have that type of response to the situation with Gabrielle Union. Nobody's asking for that at the least. If you want to talk about Rebecca and what Rebecca's asking for, because it only matters what Rebecca's asking for, Rebecca is asking for him to be quiet. Since Gabrielle Union didn't make a statement, Rebecca, his wife, is asking for him not to make a statement. And he's not pleasing Rebecca because he's making a statement. In his interview, he said that he didn't see any discrimination and that it was the most diverse place that he's worked in his 20 years of entertainment. That's a statement. So Rebecca is not pleased. If we're going by what he said in these tweets, Rebecca is not pleased by what Terry did. And the fact that Terry Crews believes that black women want him to give up his livelihood to support black women, specifically Gabrielle Union, the fact that he believes that is just ignorant to me. To be honest with you, it's ignorant to me. But I want to get into his livelihood. Since he wants to bring up giving up his livelihood, let's get into his livelihood, let's get into his net worth, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Terry Crews started out playing football. He was drafted by the NFL's Los Angeles Rams in 1991. After retiring from professional football in 1997, he embarked on an acting career. Now, according to Relevant magazine, after the NFL, Terry Crews moved his family to LA with intentions of getting involved in the animation industry, even shopping his creative portfolio around Disney, but this was during Pixar's CGI boom and hand-drawn animators were in low demand. So Terry Crews started sweeping floors to make ends meet and eventually worked his way up to doing security on film sets. So he went from being drafted from the NFL to moving to LA with dreams of being an animator to sweeping floors, and doing security was a step up for him at that point. Crews told Complex magazine how his road to movie stardom unfolded. He said, quote, "I was location security, so I would do a bunch of different movies. It just so happened I was on the set of the movie Next Friday. Because I was the biggest guy, they assigned me right outside Ice Cube's trailer. And I'm like, hey, Mr. Cube. And he was like, yeah, what's up? It was really dismissive, but I just took care of business. I really wanted to be a good security guard. I didn't want to be like, here's my demo tape. I want to be an actor. I wasn't even into that at that time. What was wild was that once I was an extra in Training Day, that's when he was like, hey, that's the dude that was out there doing security in the whole thing. And then I got my opportunity for Friday After Next, and it changed our lives forever. Terry Crews has enjoyed success in the film industry. Some of his highest grossing films include The Expendables, with a lifetime gross of more than $103 million, Bridesmaids, with a lifetime gross of more than $169 million, and Deadpool 2, with a lifetime gross of more than $318 million, according to Box Office Mojo. Outside of acting, Crews makes money from income streams including voiceover work and product endorsements. His voiceover work includes the film Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 and the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. As far as product endorsements, Terry Crews is best known for his role in Old Spice commercials. And according to my own research, Terry Crews makes plus or minus $70,000 an episode hosting America's Got Talent. That's the amount Nick Cannon was reportedly paid when he was hosting, and that's also the amount that several of the judges are reportedly paid as well. Each season has around 32 episodes, so that amounts to around $2.2 million a season. $2.2 million. And Terry Crews reportedly has a net worth of $20 million. His net worth and Gabrielle Union's net worth are neck and neck. They're both around $20 million reportedly. So for Terry Crews, this situation all comes down to economics. He believes that it's going to cost him his livelihood, his job, to support Gabrielle Union. And that's why I go back to my statement about willful ignorance. I don't believe it would cost Terry Crews his job to support Gabrielle Union. I think he can come on the Today Show, the Tomorrow Show, the Next Week Show, Sister Circle, The Real, The View, The Talk, The Chew. I think he can come on any of those shows, and if he's asked about Gabrielle Union and her claims against America's Got Talent, I think he can say, I don't have a comment. I think he can say that and still keep his job. I think he can say that and not affect his livelihood. I think he can say that and still keep his job. I think he can say that and not be the hog, giving up his life to make bacon. I think it's possible. And I also want to talk about this. I said I wanted to add to the conversation that's going on social media about this. And I'm a Christian woman, and Terry Crews and his family have professed to be Christians. They had a reality show on BET, and they talked about their Christianity. And that's how I know his wife is a Christian woman, because she talked about it. And this is the thing. As Christians, even people who are not Christians, go around quoting Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And people use that verse as like a power verse. Like, I can do anything. I can get this job. I can make this amount of money. I can reach these goals because through Christ, I can do anything. But that verse is actually Paul saying to the people at Philippi that I can be poor or rich. When he says I can do anything, if you put it into context, it's him saying I can be poor or rich through Christ. Christ strengthens me. I get my power through Christ. And the reason I feel like this relates to Terry Crews' situation is because I feel like he is so connected to his job at America's Got Talent that he doesn't realize his job is just the vessel. Like, God is using America's Got Talent to bless him financially. It's not the blessing. He's connected to God, so he's going to get the blessing whether God is using America's Got Talent, whether God is using another television show, whatever vessel God is using, the blessing is going to get to him. And I feel like he's forgotten that. And I feel like he thinks he has to stay connected to this specific vessel to get the blessing. And he's forgotten that the blessing is coming. The origin of the blessing is coming from God. I feel like his actions and his statements show that he's forgotten that as a Christian, and now he's more connected to his job than he is to the giver. And as Christians, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We don't have to hold steadfast to jobs or situations or people even that we think are blessing us, because our blessings are not coming from people. God is using those people. He's using them as a vessel, and if anything, it's best for them to stay connected to us if God is using them to bless us. But we don't have to stay connected to that vessel thinking that our blessing is from the vessel and not from God. Those are my thoughts. That's what I wanted to add to this conversation. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.